Beneath the veil of innocence hide chilling secrets, tales of darkness and unspeakable actions. Our journey today takes us into the realm of the unthinkable, where we confront the stark reality that evil knows no gender. We often perceive women as nurturing, compassionate, the so-called weaker sex. But as we're about to discover, this stereotype can be dangerously misleading. In the shadowy corners of society, where morality is a forgotten concept, there exist individuals whose actions send shivers down our spines. Among them, a seldom discussed group, female serial killers. A chilling contradiction to societal norms, these women have committed heinous acts that defy our understanding of human nature. In the next few scenes, we will introduce you to 3 such women, each with a story more horrifying than the last. Their tales are not for the faint of heart, but they are essential in acknowledging the full spectrum of human capability, both good and evil. Our first subject is a woman whose charm and charisma masked a heart as cold as ice. A master manipulator, she used her feminine wiles to lure unsuspecting victims into her web of deceit. The second, a mother figure with a twist, her nurturing facade concealing a blood-soaked legacy. Finally, we will explore an unresolved mystery, a case that continues to baffle investigators to this day, with a killer who remains elusive. Each of these women has left an indelible mark on the annals of crime, their actions a stark reminder that evil can wear many faces. As we delve deeper into their stories, we'll be forced to confront uncomfortable truths and challenge our preconceived notions of what makes a monster. So, steel yourselves and check your assumptions at the door. Prepare yourselves as we delve into the dark corners of these women's lives. Our first subject, a woman whose charm deceived many, her name synonymous with fear. Her story begins in an ordinary town, a place where childhood dreams are born and innocence prevails. But this seemingly idyllic setting was the backdrop to the early life of our first lady of crime. Growing up, she was a picture of sweetness and light, a facade that hid the darkness lurking within. It's often said that our past shapes our future, and in her case, it was a catalyst for a horrific chain of events. Her descent into the abyss of criminality was not sudden. It was a gradual process, a series of choices that eventually led her down a path of no return. The triggers for her behavior? They remain a topic of speculation. Some say it was the result of a troubled upbringing, while others point to a deeper, ingrained malice. The truth, as is often the case, is likely somewhere in between. Her murders were not the work of an amateur. Each was meticulously planned and executed with a chilling precision that sent shivers down the spine of law enforcement. Her victims were selected with care, their vulnerability exploited in the most gruesome manner. The total number of victims? A question that haunts investigators to this day. While some cases were linked to her, many more remain shrouded in mystery. Her reign of terror ended when justice finally caught up. The woman who had once been a symbol of charm and innocence was unmasked, revealing the true face of a ruthless killer. But the scars she left behind, the lives she shattered, they remain a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human heart. The next woman on our list, a figure of horror, left a blood-soaked legacy. Emerging from a childhood marred by neglect and abuse, this female killer's story is a chilling testament to the darkness that can lurk in the human heart. Her name is etched in the annals of crime, a name that sends shivers down the spines of those who dare to utter it. Born into a family that was more a den of wolves than a nurturing home, she was exposed to cruelty and violence from a tender age. Her parents, more monsters than caregivers, unleashed a torrent of physical and emotional torment upon her. This brutal upbringing, some say, may have been the catalyst that twisted her mind, propelling her onto the grim path she would later tread. Articulating her modus operandi is a task that chills the marrow. She was cunning and methodical, her crimes meticulously planned. Each of her victims was carefully selected, their lives extinguished with a cold, calculated efficiency that is as terrifying as it is perplexing. This wasn't the work of an impulsive, chaotic mind. but a deliberate, organized one. The number of lives she claimed is a figure that haunts the dreams of even the most seasoned investigators. Each victim, a tragic testament to her ruthlessness, adds to the grim tally that cements her place among the most notorious female killers in history. The aftermath of her actions was a community steeped in fear, a society forever scarred by the memory of her gruesome deeds. Families were shattered, lives were irrevocably altered, and the fabric of trust that holds society together was torn asunder. But like all reigns of terror, hers too came to an end. Her dreadful deeds came to a halt when the law intervened. The grip of justice, though slow, was unyielding, and it eventually closed around her, ending her bloody reign and bringing a measure of peace to a terror-stricken community. Our final tale, a story still shrouded in mystery, a killer still at large. This chilling narrative revolves around a woman whose suspected early life was as ordinary as any. Born and raised in the quiet town of Notorious near Angers, France, she was known for her love of animals, particularly cats. Little did anyone know this fascination would take a sinister turn. The first whispers of suspicion arose during the holidays when over 40 cats inexplicably disappeared from the town. The community was baffled, unable to comprehend the sudden vanishing of their feline companions. Then the first body was found, then another and another. Each discovery more gruesome than the last, the town was gripped with terror. Despite the horror, no concrete evidence linked our mysterious woman to the crimes. However, her reputation in town, coupled with her unusual interest in cats, made her a person of interest. The authorities began an investigation, but the evidence was circumstantial at best. The case remains open, a chilling reminder of the unsolved murders that have left an indelible scar on the town. The public's response has been a mix of fear and intrigue. Some residents have moved away, unable to bear the weight of the unresolved mystery. Others have turned amateur detectives, driven by a desire to uncover the truth. The local media has dubbed her the feline phantom, a name that has since echoed across the globe. Amidst the speculation and fear, one thing remains certain: a killer is still at large. The authorities continue their relentless pursuit, determined to bring justice to the victims and closure to the town. Yet, the mystery woman remains elusive, her whereabouts unknown. The case of the feline phantom serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the most ordinary of places. It also underscores the resilience of a community united by a shared tragedy, determined to reclaim their peace. As we speak, the hunt continues, the mystery deepens. These women, their stories, serve as a grim reminder of the dark side of humanity. They were not born monsters, but their actions have undeniably painted them as such. Let's take a moment to revisit the chilling narratives. Our First Lady of Crime, hidden behind an unsuspecting facade, committed unspeakable atrocities. Her victims were numerous, their lives brutally snuffed out, leaving behind a trail of grief and unanswered questions. The psychological implications of her actions are far-reaching, with her victims' families forever scarred by her deeds. Then, we delve into the blood-soaked legacy of the second killer. Her violent sprees was characterized by a disturbing disregard for human life. The psychological aspects of her actions are equally chilling. One can only imagine the immense trauma inflicted upon the victims' families, a pain that time will never fully heal. Lastly, we discussed the unresolved mystery surrounding the third killer. Even now, she remains at large, leaving a wake of fear and uncertainty. The psychological terror of her crimes continues to haunt her victims' families, their distress amplified by the lack of closure. Each of these women's stories is a stark reminder of the depths to which humanity can sink. They exploited trust, wielded fear, and left behind a legacy of pain and suffering. Their actions are a testament to the sinister capabilities of the human psyche when it veers off the path of empathy and respect for life. As we delve into these dark narratives, it's essential to remember that these are outliers, the extreme end of the spectrum. Most of us are guided by our moral compass, our values, and our respect for others. But it's crucial to stay aware, to stay vigilant, for beneath the veil of innocence, darkness can lurk. Stay vigilant, stay safe.